South Carolina with some concerning injuries ahead of fall camp. What does that mean for Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks?
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. Today's episode is brought to you by Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade $10. All right, today's show, a little bit of a hodgepodge show, man. We got plenty of interviews and content still from SEC Media Days that we're trying to empty out of the bin and get to you guys. Later in the show, we are going to sit down with Sam Acho on behalf of Allstate. Great conversation with him about some of the great guys doing some great things off the field in the SEC this year. So that's coming up in segment 3. Also, cousin Shane from that SEC podcast going to sit down with us. We'll get his thoughts on some of the big picture SEC stuff heading into the season. And then also later this segment, Florida linebacker Myles Graham will join us. So plenty to get into, but let's start with some news around the SEC. Shane Beamer providing an injury update for several Gamecocks yesterday, and really not much of an update. And those are the two big guys in Dylan Stewart and Jacarrius Peak. Not necessarily bad news. While speaking at the media day, Beamer said Peak and Stewart will not be practicing in full today, but are still on track in their progression. Shane Beamer saying, quote, same situation with Peak and Dylan. They won't be practicing in full, but they're on track. They've had good checkups, updates from doctors. Beamer has mentioned he's looking for Jacarrius Peak and Dylan Stewart to be ready by the time the season kicks off in September when they take on Kent State. Now, Peak, who transferred in from NC State, had an all-ACC season last year, suffered a knee injury while playing pickup basketball back in February. Dylan Stewart's ailment, on the other hand, stems from a back injury that he played through last year. Now, I saw one guy say, to my understanding, Peak is still going through mental reps, but he's running, which is a huge thing for him. And then Dylan Stewart is just being careful. They said couldn't imagine him going through full contact, but that doesn't stop dummy drills and all that. So just something to keep an eye on. Obviously, we know Jacarrius Peak, when the injury first came out in February, we thought, oh, he might miss this season or a good chunk of it or whatever. But Shane Beamer's held steadfast that he's going to be ready for the start of the season. Now, Dylan Stewart, again, just odd that he didn't come to media days with South Carolina, and he was limited throughout the spring and all this. So you just hope he's ready to go, because that's a guy that came on the scene 2 years ago as a true freshman who was just an absolute stud. And if South Carolina is going to do some damage this year and win a lot of games, they're going to need Dylan Stewart to be Dylan Stewart and be fully healthy. So their health is of the utmost importance for Beamer's 7th season in Columbia. Shane Beamer also mentioned that redshirt freshman linebacker Josh Smith will miss the start of preseason camp. In addition, redshirt freshman wide receiver Jackson Rep will miss the season after suffering an off-season injury. But again, South Carolina, the last team to open up camp today in the SEC. So now all 16 teams on the practice field getting ready for the start of the season, and it will be here before we know it. Other news around the conference, Alabama OC Ryan Grubb talking with the media yesterday and saying he's going to resurrect the Alabama run game. We know how bad the Alabama run game was last year. They averaged a dismal 104 yards per game on the ground. That ranked 15th in the SEC. Grubb talking with the media yesterday saying, simplify and do your best stuff. Don't get in steep and a mile wide, and do what you're good at and be great at it. He said Coach Clem has done an excellent job with our offensive line, helping build that, and between him and Rich Owens, I'm super excited to work with those guys in resurrecting the run game, and we will. Now, Alabama's got a few promising backs. Obviously, Daniel Hill is a guy who came on last year. Grubb saying Daniel Hill is a guy I think people are going to be really impressed in the transformation he has had with his body. He's been really lean in the 230s, low 230s. He runs different. He's got great agility and command of the offense. And then, of course, Grubb spoke about E.J. Crowell, saying the sky is the limit for the freshman running back. Grubb says he's still in the process of learning the game and how to practice, but he said, quote, he's got a good shot. Over at Kentucky, a wide receiver no longer with the team, Hardley Gilmore, was reportedly dismissed before the start of Wildcats full camp for a violation of team rules. A UK spokesman confirming the news to the Lexington Herald Leader. Not the first time Gilmore has left the program, but looks like this will be for good now. He reclassified back in 2024 from the 2025 class, and as a freshman, played in 7 games, missed the first 5 due to an injury. Following that season, he transferred to Nebraska, spent the spring with the Huskers before he transferred back to Kentucky. And then following last season and Mark Stoops being fired, he entered the portal, signed with Baylor, but again, opted to stay at Kentucky and wanted to play for Will Stein. But, man, not the news you want to hear, dismissed from the program. Over at Texas, offensive lineman Cole Hudson officially rejoins their roster. He, of course, reached an agreement with the NCAA, was previously out of eligibility, but after that temporary injunction for class of 2022 players, Cole Hudson gets another year. Without further ado, let's jump into it and get to our interview with Florida linebacker Myles Graham, really a productive player for the Florida Gators when he's healthy. Run along here, SEC Media Days. Pleasure now to catch up with a Florida Gator. He is Myles Graham, linebacker. What's this all like, man?
Oh, it's a blast, man. It's really surreal just being able to represent my team, man. It's a great time just representing my guys, representing defense. I love it.
You guys have had a crazy offseason, a lot of new pieces coming into the portal, new head coach. Everybody I talk to, man, everybody loves your new head coach, Jon Sumrall. What was it like, initial impressions, getting to meet him and getting to know him?
It was great. Honestly, he brought a lot of energy. Like, he was just really genuine from day one. Honestly, it was really no being around the bush. He was straight to the point, and I could really respect that. And that's what I really love about the guy.
It's crazy. I knew he was going to be a winner here today. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, it's just a guy you want to run through a wall through because he brings that passion, that intensity. And I got to think as a defensive guy, you kind of feel that, right?
Oh, yeah, I feel it every single day. Like, I love just playing for him, being around him. Like, you just love his energy. Every single room he steps into, he lights up the room. So it's definitely going to be a great time playing for him.
I know last year wasn't what you guys wanted, but, man, it's hard not to get excited about this team when you look at all the different pieces that you guys bring back. You got Jaden Ball in the backfield. O-line looks good. That receiver room is loaded. Figure out who the quarterback is. But defensively, you guys have a ton of new pieces as well, along with a bunch of guys back. It's hard not to get excited about this team.
Yeah, no, we're loaded. Just top to bottom. We're overly excited, man. Seeing the guys, just seeing all the dogs we got across the board, like in OTAs and workouts, everything. I'm ready to see it all just pay off and all just be put on tape.
Brad White, DC, what's it been like getting to know him?
It's been great. It's been great. Like, Coach White has the same, like, a lot of energy like Coach Sumrall does. And it's fun just stepping into a meeting and learning from him because he knows a whole lot. He's coaching the NFL, coaching college, so he's just a wealth of knowledge.
What'd you see out of the offense in the spring? Obviously, like I said, some new pieces working in, but man, it looked like even some other receivers stepped up in the spring game and kind of cool. Looks like y'all got a lot of different pieces.
Yeah, I saw a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of creativity with Coach Faulkner and that offense. Coach Faulkner, he's definitely like a creative coach, and he's well-rounded. He caters to his personnel. So I'm excited to see what he does with a lot of weapons.
What's your journey been like? Obviously, to take another step forward last year, coming into this year. What are some of the things you worked on, keep your body in shape, and kind of getting ready for another grind of a season?
Yeah, it's been great. I've learned a whole lot, honestly, on this journey. I've had a lot of ups and downs, and I wouldn't change anything about it. I'm grateful for where God has put me in this situation and where God has me at this moment. So I'm blessed, and I'm ready to keep taking those steps forward.
I think the best part, too, is you talk about the fans. They never let up. The fans have been they're there through thick and thin, and you got to give props to the fans at Gatesville because they show up and show out no matter what.
Oh, yeah. I was saying earlier, like, my whole time that I've been at the University of Florida has been a sold-out home game every single time. So I'm just blessed and I'm thankful. Like, even when we weren't playing well, they still showed up. Like, no matter what, if we had a good game, bad game the week before, they were always going to show up. So I can't thank Gator Nation enough.
What was your welcome to the SEC moment in terms of first game, maybe road game, road environment you walked into it? Okay, this is different from other places.
Yeah, I would probably say Tennessee. My freshman year, I got my first few snaps that game, and it was so loud, it was crazy. it was just wild how loud it was, and your ears are popping and everything. But it was a great time, man. Absolutely.
When you're not playing football, what are you doing?
Fishing.
Okay, what are we fishing for?
Saltwater fishing, inshore, offshore. You can fish for snook, redfish, whatever.
Okay. Catch anything good this offseason?
Oh, yeah. I've caught a lot. I've caught a mutton snapper. That was probably my favorite catch. I've caught some bonito. I've caught a good bit of redfish, some snook. A whole bunch, man.
You do the whole thing. You clean them, cook them, all that?
Oh, yeah. I eat them. Yes, sir.
You can't just fish and throw it back.
You gotta keep. Yeah. It's a part of the experience.
It's like an old caveman mantra. I caught this and I'm going to eat it.
You got to eat it. Yeah, exactly.
We've been at our question of the week. We ask everybody this. Favorite TV show of all time?
Ooh. Probably Snowfall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a great show.
I've only seen bits and parts, but you're the first one to give that answer.
One of the best of all time.
We've had a lot of like Sopranos, Breaking Bad, stuff like that.
Okay.
Snowfall, that's a good one.
Snowfall's amazing.
Awesome. Well, man, best of luck to you this season.
Yes,
go kill it, and
I will.
Appreciate you taking some time.
Sir,
all right?
I appreciate it.
Awesome, man.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's 1986. The Game has been creating classic college hats that fans are proud to wear, whether you're an alumnus, current student, season ticket holder, or simply someone who never misses a game. A great college hat is more than just apparel. It is a way to represent your school wherever you go. And this year, the Game is celebrating its 40th anniversary by giving fans a chance to save on some of their most iconic college hats. If you've been thinking about replacing an old favorite or adding a new one to your collection, now is the perfect time. A classic college hat is something you can wear year-round, whether you're heading to a game, you're running errands around town, just showing off your school pride. Nothing better than when you're on the road in an opposing team environment and repping your school with a hat from the Game. With hundreds of officially licensed college hats to choose from, you'll find the perfect fit for game day and every day. Majority of the SEC teams are up there. Don't miss this chance to celebrate 40 years of the Game with 40% off your entire order. Visit thegamecaps.com and use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. That's thegamecaps.com, promo code LOCKEDON. Celebrate 40 years of the Game with 40% off, but don't wait. This anniversary offer will not last forever. Worlds collide here as two of the most popular SEC podcasts out there. Ours here at Locked On SEC and that SEC podcast. There was a time, Cousin Shane is our guest, by the way. There was a time, Shane, when you Googled SEC podcast, we were the first two results that came up, and I love that.
I still think it's there. It's going to be one of us. But it is always good to see you, man. That's we've been doing this so long. There's a few guys that have disappeared. Some of our radio guys, they're no longer here. But there's some that are always here. And I'm always looking forward to seeing you guys and trying to figure out where that karaoke bar is going to be.
Very, very true. Of course, Cousin Shane does the podcast with Michael Bratton over there on that SEC podcast. This is almost like when the Flintstones and the Jetsons did the combined cartoon and they met up together. What are you most excited about, man, when we talk about this upcoming college football season? You guys bring the passion and the excitement, but what excites you most about this upcoming season?
What really excites me is some of the storylines that are coming in here. I mean, obviously, Lane Kiffin going back to Oxford is going to be big, but Lane Kiffin going back to Tennessee is going to be big. Right. You got Tennessee and Texas, Battle of the UTs going on. You've got new coaches. I think Jon Sumrall and especially Jon Sumrall and Golish home run hires, and what does that look like for Georgia moving forward? So, I just feel like the parity in this league is actually getting closer and closer, and when we're going to this 9-game SEC schedule, forget what Sankey's saying. I love Sankey. I'm not saying but forget what the coaches are saying. What are the fans getting? They're getting freaking action every single Saturday this fall. That's what I'm looking most forward to, and I better not see one fall wedding invite because I will not be there.
Well, unfortunately, my buddy Chris Marler has done that one, and I know
my brother did it. Yeah, my brother's like, hey, drop what you're doing. Come to Seattle, Washington in October. I'm like, you're nuts, man. I'm sorry. I'll come to the next one.
We did August because it was preseason NFL. We're like, if you can't get away from an NFL preseason game, I think you're
Yeah, you need to do that for sure.
It is crazy though that people do that. Of the new coaches, you mentioned Sumrall, you mentioned Golish. Which intrigues you most? I mean, obviously Lane being at LSU, I think is the easy one. But is there one that just jumps out at you?
Yeah, and I won't mention Lane Pete thing. That's a whole different animal. I think out of the new guys, short run Jon Sumrall. I feel like you got a Florida Gator team that they're looking at 7.5 as the bar. That means they're going to win some football games this year. And I mean, they may fall short, but I do think the Florida Gators, because we just got off the call with Zach Goodall, and he was telling me a little bit about behind the scenes, and man, this may be a deeper roster than I thought. There's a lot of returning production on the defense. You got some explosive firepower if the wide receivers can stay healthy. If Philo's the dude, this could be a scary little football team. So Florida Gators this year, long run, I think Golish was the home run hire here. I've been beating my chest since he left Knoxville. I said, we got to get this guy back in the SEC. And you see an upset against the Florida Gators. You see Alabama going toe-to-toe with it. That's what he brings. Imagine the firepower he'll have a couple of seasons under his belt down there in Auburn.
Hey, Auburn fans just want to see points scored. I mean,
That's it. And you're going to, dude. You got a offensive guru coming to your town. Auburn fans are going to love it.
You guys obviously linked to Tennessee there. It's interesting. I think most people I talk to say, who's on the hot seat? And Shane Beamer, I think, is the easy one because, 2 years removed from being SEC Coach of the Year to whatever the hell that was last year, 4-8. If it's another 4-8 type year, I think he's gone. But the other name that's popped up from people and started on Tennessee message boards last year, and I thought they were nuts so, but there's a lot of people not happy with Josh Heupel, and it seems crazy considering what Tennessee was the decade prior. This is you're living high with what he's doing right now.
This is generational complaint, right? Young people don't understand. Old people that were there when Derek Dooley came through and Jeremy Pruitt came through. We've seen the dog days, and that's the thing. The standards have kind of changed. The expectations have changed. They're in the 90s. Tennessee was in it every year. You get past Florida, you're getting to an SEC championship. You get to that, you're making it to a BCS game. Now, they don't understand that. And so to go from that lifestyle to, the decade of dysfunction as Nagy, I think it was Jim Nagy. No, not Jim Nagy. I can't remember who called it. There's a book. You read it, Google it.
Okay.
But anyway, it was more than a decade. It felt like 20 years of wandering in the desert. So the fact that we've got some production, we're back in the playoff mix. You're crazy. One bad season, come on now. Let's let Heupel cook a little bit.
So if he goes, say he goes 7-5 this year. You don't think the seat will get warm there?
Oh, 7-5, it gets warm.
Okay.
Right. I'm just not in the camp that I think it's going to go 7-5. I'm a little higher on Tennessee, and I am a homer, as folks know. But I think Josh Heupel did the right thing. He didn't hire his buddy. He got rid of him. He went out here. He got one of the best, if not the best, defensive coordinator that was eligible to come to Knoxville. He went out here. He got the best strength and conditioning coach from the national champs. He did the right moves. The quarterback is where we're at. We're putting all that's. I feel like the hesitance with Tennessee is the quarterback, but what has Josh Heupel done year in, year out? But put a first-year guy in and get production out of him. I'm not worried about that. We had Bishop in here a couple days ago, and he was telling us at our table that he's going to break a record. That's Josh Heupel. They're a running football team. They got one of the best, if not the best, offensive line in the country right now, and you pair that with Bishop, I think they'll be just fine. I like the wide receivers, and they're saying, well, there's not a lot of depth. Well, if you look at Tennessee, they keep the 3 wide receivers out there the entire time. They're going to get 95% of the looks anyway. So I feel pretty good, but you're going to have some lady luck. Injuries, we're not as deep as we'd like to be. So I do worry about that. But 7-5, yes, he deserves a hot seat. But I'm thinking this is an 8-9 win season for Tennessee.
Barry Trammell up there in OKC wrote a piece recently saying that Oklahoma and Texas have done more for the SEC than the SEC has done for them. What do you make of that thought, and what do you think a couple years in now with Texas and Oklahoma as part of the SEC?
I love it. I love it. You got 2 programs that I think are perfect match for this conference, but I think they expected the doors just to be wide open for them. No, you're going to have to earn it in this league just like everybody else. But they're doing the right things. I felt like year one, you talked about Lady Luck. It went the opposite way for Oklahoma year one. Year two, they defined the odds. Nobody thought they'd go to Knoxville and win. Nobody thought they'd go to Tuscaloosa and win, and they did, and they went on. So you pair that with the injury of John Mateer. Now he's healthy. An older defense. I talk about one of the deepest defenses in the country. Oklahoma, you got to earn your dues, but you do that by kicking people's ass, and that's exactly what they're going to be able to do this season. So Texas, I get it. We know Texas, right? All talk, right? They haven't done it yet, but people are talking about them. I've heard more about Texas than I have Alabama, which is crazy at an SEC media day, but that's where we're at. So no, that's Oklahoma is just going to have to earn it the hard way.
Have you not caught Arch Mania yet?
Yeah, come on. I do feel like this is a really good football team, but that, we were talking about pressure on coaches. I think Sarkisian may have the most pressure.
Yeah.
Because everyone has penciled them in pencil. national champ, and Heisman winner at quarterback, $40 million roster. That's exactly what they're expecting. And missing a playoff game, man, that place would explode.
Let's talk a little bit about game day. All right, we're hosting a tailgate.
Yes.
You're invited, but I task you with, you got to bring a dish. What are you bringing?
Oh man, them baked beans in there, which I love. Bush's baked beans. It's actually from the town I'm from, Dandridge, Tennessee.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you ever get up there, they actually have a little museum you can go through and everything. So I have
a baked beans museum.
Yes, and I'm telling you, you knock it right now, but it's fantastic. And when you get done, you can go. They got a nice little restaurant you can eat there, and their highlight is they make a pecan pie with baked beans in it. Now that I was not a fan of. I like pecan pie, but I didn't see anything special with it. But baked beans is my special. I love it. I take it with a pound of ground beef. I take it with a pound of spicy sausage and a pound of bacon. And you mix that up with a little barbecue sauce, some onions, some little jalapeno. That's the dish I'm bringing.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to have the bacon's got to be in there. Little sugar in there.
Well, by the time you get all that barbecue sauce, especially,
It'll take sweet anyway.
Yeah, it kind of takes it. So, but I do like that sweet hot mix, and I just think it's perfect for because it's also a meal. Here's what I do: I always make too much of it, so I can purposely bring it home, and that's a meal. You're eating that for lunch, dinner. For my wife, she says that thing went bad 2 days ago. I was like, no, it smells fine. We're good.
Ultimate go-to tailgate drink.
I like Silver Bullet, man. When I was younger, I was able to do some of these fancier drinks, but some of them sneak up on you.
Yeah.
I know with good cold beer, I know my pace, and I know what I'm capable of. In fact, the older I'm getting, the more I'm mixing in these waters.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it helps some of the medication I'm on.
Oh, yeah. The headaches will linger as you get older after a day of
absolutely,
going hard.
Man. Absolutely.
Who just you guys get, a ton of comments and love and hate from fans out there. Who's the fan base, the most likable fan base in the SEC in your opinion?
The most likable fan base, in my opinion, that's a good question. Likable. I don't know if any of them are likable, but I would say it's funny because I'd say Texas A&M.
Okay.
And the reason is they don't do too much talking. I feel like what gets teams like Tennessee and South Carolina and all these guys in trouble is, man, they'll do this. You know how it is, and they'll let you have it. But I feel like there's a little reserve with the Texas A&M folks, and so I would say most likable them. Now they do make fun of them a lot. Because of their traditions down there, but that would be the one I'd go with.
I remember going the first time I ever went to a game down there. They were playing them, and we get there, and I'm getting howdies from everybody. Howdy, and everybody's shaking my hand and all this. Hey, come on in, get a beer. And I'm like, no, we're supposed to be talking trash. We're supposed to be enemies, and they're just the most friendly people.
They're getting it. It's getting there. There's a few, right? But as a whole, I do feel like that's a more chill environment.
All right. So who's the least likable?
Tennessee. I mentioned them. That's me. In fact, I'm going to be running around here in a little bit. These questions I've been asking, it's funny you asked that because I was going to ask who's the most intolerable social media following. Without a doubt, Tennessee. We win. If there was a national title for talking, we've got it. So
I love it. He is Cousin Shane, of course, that SEC podcast. Shane, always good to talk with you, man.
Hell
Appreciate
yeah,
it.
man. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome.
See you guys. Go Vols.
Hey, before the season even kicks off, everyone is making predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy at season's end? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you could trade those predictions in a live market. Can the Florida Gators win at least 7 games this season? The Gators currently trading at 66%, meaning a $100 trade pays out $150 if they reach 7 wins. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. Trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app and use our code LOCKEDON to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi. Trade on anything. Must be 18 years or older. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. Always fun when we can catch up with our buddy Sam Acho, of course, ESPN, national broadcaster, and of course, always doing some great work with Allstate and the AFCA Good Works team. Sam, welcome in, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
It's always good to have you on and talk some college football. And obviously, I mean, SEC Media Days, it gets bigger and bigger every year. And it seems like the conference, I mean, yes, the big talking point is 3 straight years of the Big Ten winning a national championship. What's wrong with the SEC? But doesn't it feel like top to bottom, it's as level of a playing field as it's ever been?
Yeah, I love the way you put it, the level playing field. It's almost like, yeah, you're their favorites, people you're excited about, but you don't know who's going to come out on top. Georgia's a team that people have been excited about for a long time. People think that Texas, this might be their year, and then Alabama, feels like there's a resurgence. So, it's exciting, and I think the depth of the SEC, obviously there's some new coaches as well, but it's an exciting year for the SEC.
Your alma mater, I mean, Texas is getting so much love this offseason, and I've heard the words all in, I think, a dozen times. I mean, Sarkis said we're all in. They fire their defensive coordinator. They bring in Will Muschamp. They clear out the running back room. Arch Manning, this might be his last year. I mean, does it feel that way when you look at the Longhorns, that they're all in?
Oh, it absolutely does. And you think about just the talent on the team. I think that's one thing. You have to be able to have the talent, quarterback, offensive line, Will Muschamp coming on defense. But then I think about the individuals, the humans, the guys like Colin Simmons, who's going to be here today. He led the SEC in sacks last year with 12. But also it's the work that he does off the field. I got a chance to know some of these guys, and Colin Simmons is a nominee for the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. His younger brother Clayton has autism. And so this guy used his NIL to start a 501c3 called Clay's Color Crew, and it really helps to spread awareness for autism. So you're thinking about people who are phenomenal at the job they do on the field, but then you peel back the curtain, you look at the human, it's like, oh, that's a guy I want to follow.
It's so crazy, too. I mean, it feels like we talk so much about football and not enough about the guys and the great stuff that they do off the field. Obviously, you and Tim Tebow and all these great athletes who have done it and continue to do it even after your playing career. But that's what makes this so great, that Allstate and AFCA Good Works team brings this to attention.
Oh, absolutely, because there's a lot of awards that do recognize on-field success, and all these players want to be great on the field. But you're not just a football player, you're also a human. There's your physical capital, your intellectual, and your social. That last name means a lot. And so that's who people get a chance to follow. Lawson Lucky, tight end at Georgia, dominant football player. Well, Lawson's younger brother, Cannon, has a rare genetic disorder called FOXG1 syndrome. So Lawson could have gone any school in the country. He decided to stay home, go to Georgia, so his brother could go to games. Now he uses his platform to try and raise awareness and raise money for FOXG1 syndrome. And he's another one of the nominees for the Allstate AFCA Good Works team. And so the great thing about some of these players is that you're getting a chance to see a different side of them. Tim Tebow was a part of the team in 2009. I was a part of the team in 2010. Trevor Lawrence was a part of the team as well. So these people, I mean, they're good at football. Don't get it wrong. It's not just community service. It's football, academics, and what you do in the community.
Oh, I think it's great for fans out there when you're watching the games. At least you got a little backstory on guys to root for and guys who are doing some great stuff out in the community. Talk a little bit about the pressure on Sark, though. I mean, is it it's a 9-game conference schedule. It gets even harder on top of you're playing Ohio State in week 2. How do they weather the storm here?
Well, if you look at their schedule, I think there's some favorability there with some of the home games that they get a chance to have. I think it might be like 6 or 7 home games. Of course, there's neutral site games as well, but I think that's favorable. You think of the experience that they have at quarterback with Arch Manning. That's favorable. Look at left tackle Trevor Gooseby, one of the best in the country. That's favorable. And then Will Muschamp. So, of course, like you might say there's pressure, but they've recruited at a really high level, and they've brought in coaches who they think they can help them win and win now.
Where did you come down on the whole Lane Kiffin saga?
Oh, well, I got a chance to cover the Tulane Ole Miss game?
Yeah.
The first round playoff game. So got a chance to just be a part of some of that. And it's definitely, you could see some of the divisions there, but the players who decided to stay, and even Pete Golding, I mean, people get really excited about Ole Miss, even the entire SEC.
Yeah.
Right? Like we talked about it being deep from top to bottom. Ole Miss is a school that it's like, man, they could win.
Yeah.
Tennessee's another school that I think, a guy named Edwin Spillman, going back to some of the stuff we talked about as far as like humans to root for.
Yeah.
Edwin Spillman, all freshman SEC team, linebacker, part of the Allstate AFCA Good Works team as well. This dude is from Sierra Leone, was an orphan in Sierra Leone, got adopted, and now he moved to Nashville, went to, I think it's called Lipscomb Academy, and then fast forward, now he's at Tennessee, and he's a player that people root for. Going to be really good as a football player, but also going back and giving back in his community. And so when it comes to like Ole Miss and their success, Texas, Georgia, Bama, I don't know. I'm really looking forward to it. And then, of course, we'll see what LSU and Ole Miss play each other too.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about how this season's going to play out.
Yeah, it's really wide open up top. I think most people will kind of pick Georgia and Texas as the two teams that are going to go to Atlanta and play for the title. Is that kind of where you would, if you were casting a vote?
That's hard for me to say that because I think about like Trinidad Chambliss is phenomenal. I mean, so I was at the Sugar Bowl last year with Allstate. That's where they have the 22 Allstate AFCA Good Works teams.
I saw you there.
Yeah, exactly. And so I got a chance to watch him in person. And I was with the Allstate AFCA Good Works team members, and Michael Tapp was part of that deal as well. And getting a chance to watch what Trinidad Chambliss was able to do live, and of course you watch the games, but watch him in person, blown away. And so I'm excited about Georgia, excited about Texas. But people don't need to sleep on Ole Miss either.
Yeah. What do you make of the state of college football right now? Obviously, we're talking about some of the great players and the great work that they're doing, but just this wide open, wild west thing, transfer portal, NIL, all that. What do you make of it?
I'm actually excited, as crazy as that sounds, because you are seeing, there are the stories that people tell of, players getting all this money, but you're actually not hearing the stories of what they're doing with it, of how they're starting 501c3s. There's Gianna Bennett, Northwestern College in Iowa, a kicker. She has partnering with a deal called Every Kick Counts, and it's to help stillborn awareness. There's a lot of stillborn children, and so she's a kicker. She's like, man, every kick I make, I'm going to raise money. You can match it, because if kids aren't kicking in the third trimester, then that's how where to prevent stillbirths.
Yeah.
And so, yes, you could look at NIL and transfers and say, oh, it's all bad. Or you can peel back the layers and look at the humans and say, hold on, these players are actually using their money for good.
Yeah.
And so I actually have no issues. Now, I do think that players need more education when it comes to taxes and all those kinds of things. I got a chance to go to Congress a couple weeks ago and share with them, hey, here's things that we can do to help players understand how taxes work. Like, that matters. When it comes to the impact that these players are making on the field, there are 162 nominees, 15 in the SEC for this Allstate AFCA Good Works team, and I think that's a story that needs to be told more. So I have no issues with the state of college football when it comes to NIL, because I think there are players who are actually making a huge impact.
He is Sam Acho. Always love to talk with you, man. You bring that positivity, that energy, and certainly love talking about all the great stuff that's happening with Allstate and the AFCA Good Works team and all these great players. Again, so much negativity in the news. Always good to hear about the positive things. Keep doing that, man. You're always great with all this.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right, thank you guys for tuning into today's Locked On SEC. Make sure you subscribe and follow so you get all the latest episodes. Remember to follow us on social media. I'm at Chris Gordy. You can follow the show at Locked On SEC. And if you never miss an episode, you need to make sure you are subscribed and getting in here every single day. For those of you on video, we send you to the first ever 24/7 national Locked On Podcast Network YouTube channel. And on audio, make sure you make your second listen Locked On College Football.